Thanks and welcome to join me at 6:15 in Douala. I'm Kejang Henry Atembe for the news. We have our top stories. Blood for Life Cameroonians have been told to cultivate the culture of donating blood as the blood banks count a deficit of about 150,000 blood pens. And Victoria United bounces back to the elite loot after close to a decade at the inferior league. Opopo picked her qualification yesterday. We will be bringing you more development ahead. Thanks and welcome back. Cameroon counts a deficit of 150,000 blood paints yearly and are faced with this acute deficit. The Health and Life Foundation has asked Cameroonians to cultivate the culture of donating blood. Beatrice Ngamo reports from Yaoundé.
Many responded to the call this morning to offer this life-saving liquid free of charge at the blood donation service at the Yaoundé Central Hospital. Their gest is to contribute in their own little way to the requirements of patients in need of blood. Countless deaths, including infants and maternal, have been blamed on the absence of blood, either during illnesses, operation, and delivery. This against the backdrop that Cameroon needs some 250 to 400,000 blood paints yearly, yet only 100 pins are collected. Commonplace to witness families running helter-skelter, calling and begging for eligible donors to come to the aid of their loved ones. To be a donor, one needs to be between 18 to 65 years, healthy, and have enough blood to give. And they can only do so after 3 months from the last. Why? At times the numbers are many, but the collection few. The mission of the association, Santé et Vie, in other words, Health and Life, at the Yaoundé Central Hospital this Friday falls in that light. At the time of our report, out of the 84 donors who confirmed, 41 had already answered, with some 20 safe blood pains. The campaign, now and again, by groups and associations, is not only to help boost the blood banks, but also educate the public and communities on the importance of blood donation, which is to save life.
Well, thanks very much. Beatrice Ngamo reporting there from Yaoundé. With many municipal councils in the northwest region of Cameroon feeling the brunt of the current security crisis, the Prime Minister's head of government is brokering a deal to redeem them out of the mess. And our case in question is the Njikwa Council in Momo Division of the Northwest region, whose worries or salary arrears have been accumulated for long, and the outstanding social security benefits that stands at 54 billion. Stephanie Chin now reports with calls from our Northwest Regional Bureau Chief Correspondent, Anya Collins.
If the security crisis is seemingly taking a nosedive today, the effects are still being felt at municipal council level. During her mid-year evaluation session on Wednesday, the Njikwa Municipal Council has regretted that workers have gone for several months without salaries, while unpaid social insurance dues have been accruing since 2015.
Last year, I started by paying off a chunk of the money. We are also working with the social insurance organization to make sure that some of the penalties that were given to the Njikwa Council could be relieved. I mean, the penalties could be waived. These meetings started right from Yaoundé at the Prime Minister's office, and we'll be having future meetings with the Social Insurance Agency in the Northwest to make sure that the Njikwa workers can smile.
As concerns the execution of development projects, the Momo Divisional Delegate of Public Contracts and of Economy and Regional Development informs the meeting that the execution rate still stands at 21.4%.
We know the contractors involved and the strategy was put in place to make sure that they carry out their work. I think this month and next month will be very determinant.
The Njikwa Council new approach to henceforth include village development associations could help in turning things around positively.
As the beneficiaries of development association, which I want to codename the community share of the national cake, it will be important that before a project is received after completion, the community development stakeholders should be those to give the green light.
Also in attendance were some regional councillors of Momo extraction who injected their respective inputs, all geared at praying for a return to lasting peace.
Stephanie Chid reporting Cameroon now has a harmonized plan for the restitution of degraded land between 2020 and 2030. The different actors alongside the Ministry of Environment, Protection of Nature and Sustainable Development has unveiled the plan with specific models that need to be followed. Details with Heisenchia.
Cameroon had taken the engagement of reclaiming 12 million hectares of degraded land by the year 2030. And to realize this, efforts are needed from both national and international partners of the Ministry of Environment, Protection of Nature and Sustainable Development. The harmonized plan made public this Wednesday, September 21st, in Yaoundé with specific tasks.
Le fait que plusieurs partenaires travaillent ensemble.
For the fact that many partners work together, it is important that we have a common vision, coordinated actions that can complement each other. The harmonized plans permits us to capitalize on the efforts of all partners and avoid wasting resources, so that all the technical partners of the government can better do their job in this strive to restore degraded land.
Dans la restauration des terres dégradées au Cameroun.
This step, highly lauded by Minister Hele Pierre, who underlines that the process is on a good footing to restore the vast degraded land for the good of the population.
I think that is very important for us because the role played by diversity is very important for our health, economy and so on. I think today it is a great day for us together to present for execution harmonized plan that is a model, instrument for work and follow our policy for restoration of the great land.
And amongst the 12 million hectares to be restored, 8 million is in the 3 northern regions and 4 in the other regions of Cameroon.
Thanks very much, Hasincha, reporting there. And we have Beatrice Ngamo, who now reports on how there are means to fight deforestation in Cameroon. The government has signed a partnership with the German Technical Corporation and the Central African Forestry Commission, COMIFAC. Beatrice Ngamo.
Only 18% of the 55 million hectares of forest land in Central Africa are legal and certified, according to the Technical Association of the International Tropical Forest. Many of their wood and wood products leave Central African countries for China, who today, with a new forest code, restricts the buying, transportation and transformation of illegal wood. The place today for increased control, increase the production of legal timber to the advantage of the countries, the population of the area.
The wood coming from this region has been collected legally and has a certificate internationally approved. That's important not only for the climate, but especially for the population, that also in 10 or 20 years the population can live by using the forest in a durable way.
The future trilateral project notes Tropical Timber Trade Facility will be submitted to the Congo Basin forest countries upon completion for validation. This will enable them develop dialogue with China in wood trade and also in the exchange of technology to improve wood transformation and trade. Its implementation will depend on the 6 countries. The €6 million project is by the German government, through its technical project with the Central African Forest Commission for a period of 4 years.
And people living with impairments or hearing impairments today commemorate the International Sign Language Day. And on the sidelines of that commemoration, our reporter Umul Kulsumi actually talked to a successful entrepreneur who lives with a hearing impairment despite all odds.
She is 36 years old and happily married, an independent hairdresser living in Limbe. Doris is deaf and dumb, but her disability is not a hindrance. She communicates with the use of sign language. Though she can't talk normally, she has adopted a strategy to communicate with her clients daily.
I don't communicate. I can even write in something that make my client to understand what they have to. You can say something by writing.
A symbol of bravery and hard work, she calls on her peers on this International Day of Sign Language to follow her footsteps.
To my younger sister, just to encourage them to work hard, because even if you have an hearing impairment, if you are disability, but just work. Even if you are blind, don't care about your handicap. Work. You must try to work as far as you can do it.
This as Cameroon joins the international community to commemorate the day under the theme Discover Sign Language in all the diversity of its cultural and artistic forms.
Oh, thanks there, Umul Kulsumi, for that wonderful report. The mortal remains of the Minister Delegate at the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development were this morning removed from the Yaoundé Central Regional Hospital mortuary. Prime Minister, Head of Government, Joseph Diangote, led the cabinet ministers as he represented the Head of State to the corpse removal of Clementine Messina Asanga. For High-Section reports on the journey to eternity.
Ananga Messina on her final journey of no return. And amongst the thousands of Cameroonians who converge here at the Central Regional Hospital mortuary this Friday morning to pay their last respect to the fallen Minister Delegate at the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development was the representative of the Head of State, Prime Minister Joseph Diangote, and a host of government ministers. The departure of the state servant, a bitter pill to swallow.
She was extremely useful minister who really imbibed in her all the ideals of the President of the Republic and was extremely instrumental in advancing our agricultural agenda. It is thus with great sadness that we see her go, and the Head of State and his wife, the First Lady, want to demonstrate their sympathy with her family and with the agricultural family in general.
Her soul committed to the hands of the Almighty God through prayers, the coffin decorated in green, red, yellow colors, and a display of an official funeral. The 63-years-old Clementine Ananga Messina, who died on August 5th in Turkey, will be laid to rest this Saturday at Zima Obala, Lekie Division of the Central Region of Cameroon.
Well, may her soul rest in peace. Victoria United has bounced back at the Elite 2 after close to a decade at the Inferior League. Popo picked her qualification after beating NGV Football Academy of Chang. Popo actually qualified alongside Aigle Royal of Mungo. Fatals with Stephanie Chin.
MTN Elite 2 welcomes 2 new members. Victoria United and Aigle Royal of the Mongo marked as favorites in Group B, who have picked the first 2 tickets after playing the semi-finals of this year's National Interpools. Both teams qualified this September 19 after knocking out their opponents.
Au niveau même de notre ligue, on avait dit que la montée cette année. Donc on avait fait tout pour qu'on arrive à ce niveau. Et finalement, on a commencé à déjà travailler pour la saison prochaine.
Victoria United alias Opopo beats LGV Football Academy of Chang by 2-1 thanks to striker Ashu Serezo, who scored the last goal at the 30th minute. Aigle Royal of the Mongo, winner of the 1971 and 1994 National Championship, joins the Elite 2 club after knocking out the Hilltop Strikers of Bamenda by 2-0. The 2 winners will meet on September 26 for a final match which will crown the champion of Interpools 2022.
Oh, thanks very much, Stephanie Chin, and congratulations to Opopo, one people, one power. That brings us to the end of this news. I've been Kejang Henry Atebe, thanking you for keeping the faith with us throughout the week, and have a wonderful weekend. From all of us, it's goodbye.